Welcome, everyone. Today, we bring you another chilling true crime story. One that is real, disturbing, and impossible to forget. Every detail matters, and every moment leads closer to the truth. So stay connected with us till the end, because this story will change the way you see crime forever. In the quiet suburbs of New Jersey, family dynamics often reveal themselves in subtle ways. The Dominguez family was no exception. Born just a few years apart, Angeli Dominguez and Omelie Dominguez grew up in the same home but seemed to inhabit entirely different worlds. Omelie, the younger sister, was disciplined, bright, and determined. She excelled in school, dreamed of becoming a nurse, and carried herself with a maturity beyond her years. Her family affectionately called her the Scholar, a title she earned through late-night study sessions, impeccable grades, and dedication to her future. She balanced academic life with cheerleading and her involvement in the Mu Sigma Epsilon sorority, proving that ambition and joy could coexist. Angeli, on the other hand, was unpredictable, energetic, and often impulsive. She was a free spirit, drawn to parties, social media, music, and nightlife. While her sister meticulously planned her days, Angeli thrived on spontaneity, often moving between homes in New Jersey and Florida, living life with unapologetic energy. She had a magnetic personality, yet behind the vibrant exterior, troubling signs of instability were emerging. Despite their differences, the sisters shared a bond, at least on the surface. Family gatherings, holidays, and shared childhood experiences created a connection that few could understand. But as the years went by, their paths diverged, and the gulf between them widened. By 2022, Omelie was 21 years old, a thriving nursing student with dreams of making a difference, while Angeli, 27, was 5 months pregnant and engaged, yet still struggling with personal and mental health challenges. The stage was set for a tragic collision of two very different lives. Angeli's life had never been static. Between moving houses, pursuing a social life, and intermittent employment, stability was elusive. By 2022, she had found love and was engaged to Tony Miranda in Jacksonville, Florida. At first glance, the future seemed promising. Marriage and motherhood were on the horizon, and Angeli was 5 months pregnant. Yet beneath the surface, there were warning signs. Angeli had a documented history of paranoid schizophrenia, a condition she was not consistently treating. Her fiancé, worried for her safety and that of the unborn child, sought help. On March 18, 2022, Tony contacted authorities to have Angeli evaluated under Florida's Baker Act, which allows for involuntary psychiatric assessment if someone is deemed a danger to themselves or others. The evaluation concluded she was stable enough for release, but unresolved anger and untreated mental illness only heightened the risk of what was to come. The mix of emotional stress, medication non-compliance, and pregnancy complications created a volatile situation. Angeli also had access to firearms stored in her fiancé's car, a factor that would later prove devastating. Her erratic behavior, combined with a determined journey back to New Jersey, set in motion a chain of events that would leave an entire community reeling. While Angeli's life was chaotic, Omelie's was purposeful and orderly. Born in Union City, New Jersey, she embraced education, structure, and responsibility. As a nursing student at William Patterson University, Omelie maintained a 3.9 GPA while working as an admissions assistant, balancing academics and work with grace. Omelie's compassion extended beyond academics. She volunteered, supported friends, and sought to uplift everyone around her. Her ambition wasn't driven by ego but by a sincere desire to make a difference. Friends and family describe her as radiant, full of life, and a source of inspiration. Tragically, her bright future would be cut short. Her dreams, her energy, and her kindness would all end abruptly on a single spring day in 2022, leaving those who loved her with heartbreak and unanswered questions. March 2022 brought both promise and peril. Angeli had recently been released from psychiatric evaluation in Jacksonville. Her anger at being hospitalized, coupled with ongoing mental health struggles, led to confrontations with Tony. He attempted to alert authorities when Angeli took his white Ford Mustang and firearms without permission. Despite warnings, she drove north along I-95, leaving Florida behind. Tony's frantic attempts to intercept her went largely unheeded by local law enforcement. Dashcam footage and GPS tracking later revealed the scale of the danger, a pregnant woman driving alone with firearms toward New Jersey, with mental health concerns unresolved. Meanwhile, Omelie continued her routine, focused on school and work, unaware of the storm heading her way. Angeli's drive north was almost 1,000 miles, a tense and ominous trek. With firearms in the vehicle, her mental state unstable, and her emotions running high, the journey became a literal and metaphorical ticking clock. Local and interstate authorities were not immediately involved, allowing her to approach Little Ferry, New Jersey, with devastating consequences. The narrative of her journey is as chilling as it is tragic, a combination of human error, systemic failures, and personal turmoil aligning in the worst possible way. On March 22, 2022, Angeli arrived at her family's home on Sand Hill Court. The encounter between sisters escalated quickly. Accounts differ, but all agree. A dispute over money and unresolved family tensions triggered a violent outcome. Omali was shot in the head, and a younger sibling witnessed the horror. Angeli fled immediately, leaving devastation in her wake. Ring camera footage later confirmed her departure with a weapon in hand. The community, friends, and family were left grappling with a tragedy that seemed incomprehensible. Law enforcement apprehended Angeli approximately 90 miles from the crime scene in Jacksonville. Authorities recovered firearms from her vehicle and charged her with first-degree murder, unlawful possession of firearms, and hindering apprehension. The defense proposed a plea deal, second-degree manslaughter with an 8-year prison term, but the prosecution rejected it, aiming for the full severity of justice. Court proceedings were postponed multiple times, with a trial pending. The legal case highlighted systemic challenges, including handling interstate threats, mental health considerations, and risk assessment in domestic disputes. Little Ferry, New Jersey, a typically peaceful suburb, was left in shock. Residents, accustomed to quiet streets and low crime, struggled to process the violent death of a young, vibrant resident. Omali's legacy as a scholar, caring individual, and source of inspiration became the focal point for mourning. Family members, especially Tony Miranda, grappled with anger, grief, and helplessness. The tragedy sparked conversations about mental health, early intervention, and the role of law enforcement. The tragedy underscores the importance of recognizing and treating severe mental illness. Angeli's schizophrenia, untreated and compounded by stressors like pregnancy and personal conflicts, created a dangerous scenario. This chapter explores mental health intervention, warning signs, and preventive measures that might save lives. It's a call for understanding, compassion, and systemic improvements to prevent future tragedies. The Dominguez tragedy leaves no easy answers. Life is fragile, relationships are complex, and mental health challenges can escalate unexpectedly. Omali's memory endures. Her discipline, compassion, and energy continue to inspire. Tony Miranda's attempts to prevent the tragedy remind us that intervention is possible but often constrained by laws, procedures, and human error. As the trial looms, the case serves as a somber reminder of life's fragility, the importance of empathy, and the urgent need for mental health awareness. Families, communities, and society must reflect on what could have been done differently to prevent such heartbreak. The story ends not with a sense of closure but with a call to action, to value life, to intervene when warning signs appear, and to support those struggling with mental illness before tragedy strikes.